Hey guys, Ryan Hamer here. Today we're talking about your credit history. Today I want to talk to you about credit history because there's a lot of misconceptions and confusion going around what exactly comprises of your credit history. And today I want to talk about it because I think it's important that you guys kind of get a better idea of why it's important. Your credit history takes up 35% of your total credit score. And it's a huge percentage. It's actually the largest percentage overall. And credit history, it's composed of anything that you've paid off, anything that you're currently paying, where you have a couple of months or years behind you. So if you had a student loan, that's in your credit history. If you're continuing to pay that, that's in your credit history. If you have a car loan and you're still paying it for the next 3, 4, 5, 7 years, that's in your credit history. Anything that you've already paid, that's behind you in your credit history. Anything that happened last month, that's in your credit history. And it's important that you keep up with your payments, because if you don't, then you're going to accumulate what we call negative credit history. Okay, I talked about this in another video about when you cancel stuff too soon or you cancel stuff at all. Don't cancel good debt, and don't cancel debt that you have been paying without fail and you have generated positive credit history. Because what happens is when you go and you cancel that card, or you cancel that line of credit, or you pay off a car too early, what happens is, so for example, if you have a car and the payment terms are 5 years, and say you come into a large sum of money and you decide, hey, you know what, it's my second year of having this car, let me just pay it off right now. Well, 12 times 3, which is the 3 years that you're going to be cutting out of the equation because you're paying it off early in only 2 years, you're going to miss 36 months of positive credit history. So that's goodwill, that's a good juju, that's good karma, that contributes to your higher score, and that contributes to your good name. And that's years of positive credit history that is not going to be on your credit bureau report anymore because you paid off that debt early. Now, I understand you may have reasons for wanting to pay off a debt early. There's nothing wrong with wanting to do that. That's very noble and stuff. But if it's creating a record on your credit bureau report, you don't really want to mess that up, and you don't want to lose that. Now, I understand there are certain reasons why you might want to pay a car off. Like say you're buying a house, right? And there's this thing, it may affect your debt to income ratio. So if you're going to be buying a house and you're going to be incurring like a mortgage that's going to be hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you want to reduce the amount of debt that you currently have on your books by eliminating some of the debt, like say one is a car payment, so you decide to pay that off early, I can understand that. That might be the only time that you might want to pay a debt off early, because you have a larger purchase ahead that you're looking at, and you're trying to make the numbers work. You're trying to make the numbers drive. Because if you're trying to create a good credit profile, credit application, it's such that you don't have that many debts over here so that you can accumulate a bigger debt over here, then that makes sense. But there are times when clearing off your debts early doesn't make sense for you. It actually works against you, and it's a hindrance as opposed to a help, right? So we talk about credit mix. So when we say a credit mix, having a good mix of credit to diversify your credit profile, what that means is you have a car loan, you will have a bank loan, you may have another installment loan, like say perhaps for furniture or bed or whatever else you might have purchased. And these types of loans are installment loans, and you're going to be paying them each month, right? So you will have a limited credit history for these particular loans. So these installment loans will go from 2 years or 3 years or 4 years or 5 years or up to 7 years. And as I said, the installment loan is from the beginning, right, up until the end of the term, right? So once you finish that term, so what happens is once you finish that term from the beginning to the end, right, then that's done. That's it. you will take those months, whether it's 48 months or 60 months or whatever, those months are added to positive credit history on your credit bureau report, and it'll affect your score. But once you've completed the installment from the beginning to the end. But when you clip that installment early, that contributes to you only have 2 months. I mean, not 2 months, 2 years or 3 years or however early you cut off that installment payment. So just keep that in mind. Also, credit cards and stuff like that. Credit cards contribute to your credit history, so you don't ever want to be late on your credit cards. Very, very important, because it's contributing to your credit history. It's also contributing to your credit load. So you have a load. When we talk about a mix of credit, your mix of credit contributes to the load of credit with which you're able to carry at any specific time. Your revolving credit can change from you having high balances or low balances on your credit cards or lines of credit. So you always want to make sure that you're utilizing the lowest percentage possible on your credit cards or your line of credit, because that contributes to the credit history as well. So if you're carrying a balance each month, some credit cards don't mind that, but some other credit cards, like say for example American Express, they don't like when you carry a balance. They want you to pay off the credit card in full every single month. And some of the sort of higher tier credit cards are like that too, right? They want you to pay off your balance. They want you to pay off your balance as early as you possibly can. Like definitely before the statement date.
Just don't say it's love. You know it ain't sweet enough.